Welcome back to my second episode of Webbling Hackathon. In this episode, I'm going to talk about how do we set up the environment for the participant to come to our hackathon sessions. So basically, at first we condition the participant and we will set goals, and also we'll show them what are the solutions to get the things done, and at the end we will also keep track of the participant with a point system, and at the end of the day we will giving some rewards to the participant. So the hackathon session is happening in 3 days. So I'm going to explain what happens in these 3 days, and also how backend works and preparation for these 3 days. So for first day, in day one, we will kick off the session by telling them what actually is a hackathon. For the day one, once the participant is gathered, giving a very short introduction, so we will just help the participant to set up their PCs, and we also will divide the participant into 3 different groups. First one is the front-end development, second is the back-end development, and also the third one is the documentation team. So basically, is these 3 sessions of the participant will be divided. And also at the first workshop briefing, right? Some of the participants they are not really a programmer. Maybe they are wanted to learn. So So this is the first day, right? To split up teams and brief them. So on the day 2, in the early session of it, we will provide a framework introduction to the participant from the back-end development, front-end development, and also the documentation portion on how and why this 3 session is so important, right? Because there's a lot of resources on the YouTube. Like for example, for back-end development, there's a YouTuber called Mayuko. She provided very good content about software developer knowledge to help our participants. So we will also use some video content on the YouTube to show the participant, and so that they will have a very clear direction on what kind of result that we are looking for. So on the documentation part, we also will engage the participant with some social tools for developers, like for example Slack or Discord, and also maybe we will use some use to set up a Facebook workstation temporarily to cater them to have an engagement between each other, right? And also we will have use some tools like Trello to create a simple Scrum board for them to track their performances, because at the end of the day we will base on the performance and give some token of appreciation to the participants. Okay, and the last part is about development and testing. So depends on what kind of solution that we are trying to build. We will provide either is a local deployment or a staging deployment. If let's say the solution that we have built is yet to be live to the consumer or to the market. So let's say some of the solution is actually already on market and already live. So the clients are requesting to have some new feature on the website. So we will use the hackathon, this hackathon method to help our clients to build the new features, right? So we have to deploy to the new environment. So we will help the client side to set up a new temporary way for this hackathon session to deploy the new solution to their production servers. So now this is the hustling between the day 2, and now we come to day 3. So day 3 is more about the commitments in between the participant, right? Because most of the source code or the files, right, we will commit it to the source tree or GitLab, or we are using, if let's say we are using AWS, we will use the code commits. Depends on what kind of versioning that we are using, right? And on top of that, we will use this source tree software to track the most of the commits from the participant and the programmers. Documentation part, we will use Trello. Okay, and go to the day 3 after we help up their works. And we also will summarize their performance based on their commitments. Then most of this token appreciation actually is somehow our partners, or some is provided by our clients, or some are the business partners. So it depends what kind of relationship that we have built to through our business and the customer and through these hackathon sessions. So now I'm going to touch a little bit about the back-end works and the preparation for the sessions, right? So for the back-end works and the preparation of this hackathon, beforehand we will once we receive the request from the client, whether it's build a new project or a new feature, we will do a problem to solution analysis. So we will first understand what kind of solution that our clients are looking for. So then we will brainstorm what kind of problems that we are facing. Then we will convert that problems into solutions. So basically is to break down every task that we need to do towards the goal that we need to achieve, right? So because this is really essential, is that because most of the participants to come to this hackathon, they will look for what kind of tasks they are going to complete, or what kind of challenges that they will be facing, right? Because they will know how many challenges and or achievement they will achieve. So basically, this is some of the preparation in getting the hackathon done. So, and also from the marketing part, right? So we will work together with some business community like JCI or BNI. Is because in Malaysia, most of the organization is really focusing on business. Because our country here is we are still building our economy up. So most of the people around is still focusing on business. No matter it's before the happenings of the COVID-19 or after, is actually our country is still in the development of economy. So most of the organization out there is still focusing on businesses. So it's quite essential that how this hackathon is happening in Malaysia, right? But we still streamline the hackathon to be organized to help the community of the developers. So that's why on the third day of the hackathon, right, the token of appreciation is where the developer that are willing to come on board and help the businesses to solve their problems, right? So this is some of the backends and the preparation works that as a hackathon organizer should take care of. So right, that's it. That is the basic, not basic, the how the hackathon being organized within my business and the through the community around. So this is the end of this episode 2 of Hackathon for WebbyLink. And so you can get my podcast on Spotify now or the Google Podcast because thanks to the platform that I'm using called Anchor.fm. This is the only platform that I post my podcast on it, and I realized this platform is powerful enough to help me to distribute all my podcasts to different channels, right? That will help me to post the podcast to Spotify or the Google Podcast, so the Radio Publics, right? There's a lot of different Pocket Casts, Breaker, right? This is really good for the Anchor FM. So if you are like me, providing your knowledge or sharing your information on the podcast, I think Anchor.fm is a very good way to publish your podcast because it saves a lot of effort, right? So if you like my content, you can follow me on Spotify or Google Podcasts, right? So thank you for listening, and I will see you in my next episode. Thank you. Bye.